I'm honored to welcome Professor Ronni Gamzu, the CEO of Tel Aviv Sourasky Medical Center. Professor Gamzu will talk about hospitals as a target for cyber attacks. Hi.
Thank you so much. For the sake of time, I will be brief, and after the previous presentation, I think that everybody knows the importance, and we all are sharing, the strategy and what to do in healthcare. And still, I think there's still a way to go. First, as you've seen, healthcare is very attractive for attacks. And it's not only number 2 or number 3, but it's the most growing. Then the growth in attack on healthcare organization, you name it, all kinds of healthcare organization that contains data, and of course healthcare operation is huge and it's growing daily, every time. However, if you ask a specific CEO, a common CEO of a hospital, he will know the buzzwords of AI, smart hospital, cloud computing, connectivity. He will do digital transformation, but if you ask him what's in SOC, do you have a CISO, maybe he will be laughing about it. If you dare to ask him what's an EDR or this kind of system, he will know almost nothing about it, most of them. So we are not, or still we are speaking about cyber, we are talking cyber, but we are not going deep in. We believe that this is the job of the IT, and this is really what's happening. This is a technology issue. I have an IT under my supervision, so it's his responsibility. Some will say it's only theoretic. In Israel, there was only one major cyber attack, so we are not regarded really as a target. Some will say, still will say so, and this is kind of a strategic mistake, and we all fall for that. So we have first to embrace, to understand that, and what we are seeing all over the world is an increase in any country. Any country is subject to healthcare attacks, and I know healthcare cyber attacks, and I know many of my fellow CEOs in Europe that are really growing gradually to understand the threat and putting more and more resources. And data breaches are almost daily in everywhere. So in order to understand that, first you have to know what's happening. I'm not sure that a common CEO or healthcare organization or a regulatory body really makes kind of routines, knowing what's happening, knowing what the threats, what other healthcare organization went through, not only in your own country. You know about the next CT, the next MRI, the next technology or advanced therapies, the next drug in oncology. You will know that because it's closer to you. You feel more passionate about it. Still, whether there was a data breach in Belgium or in any place else, a common CEO or common healthcare hospital management will not deal with that or will not raise it in the routine like the way that we should do. So this is kind of an issue that we have to go more and more deep into that. Healthcare is very vulnerable. The way that we practice, the way that we are advancing our technologies is huge, and it creates more and more capabilities. And we see that is failing to secure. Many of the healthcare organizations still do not put enough resources. They do not do, professional SOC, and do not use the most advanced kind of technology. Some of them will say, yes, I have an antivirus protection. And you still believe that it's enough. It's okay. Yeah, I have the antivirus. I have this kind of technology, but they are not. They will buy the best new MRI that is doing AI, but when they will be approached with the best XDR or other, kind of technology that you know more than me, they even do not know them. And this is why healthcare is attractive and vulnerable on that. If the threat used to be physical threat, because we are an open stage kind of an industry. Our computers are not at the backstage, are in the front, in the department. You are going with the laptops around doing rounds. All that, access point are, very open to you, and you can even in some cases, in some healthcare organization, put a USB in, and still the threat is now less physical. It's more hacking and more data breaches, and it's changing, and we see that all around, and we need to first to understand that. And hospitals are the main target, mainly because hospital is a front stage, open stage kind of an industry. Everything is in the open. You can traveling within the corridors, within the working stations of the physician and the nurses. And sometimes you can, of course, use other kind of tricks in order to get into a lab or something like that. So hospitals are very, very vulnerable on that. Of course, electronic medical records, digital, open access, many of the technologies that we are using, IoT and a lot of that. So what are the roots of the vulnerability of hospital? First, when you're looking at the way that we are progressing, we need to understand that smart hospital, the concept of smart hospital makes us more vulnerable, makes the threat, makes the challenge really concrete, and challenge that we are facing more and more, and we need to look at that in a way that the smarter our hospital is, the smarter you want your digital transformation to be, the smarter tools that you want to wear. You want to have more beacons or Bluetooth devices. You want to have everything connected to the internet. You want to have the best IoTs. You want to use clouds. You want to use more connectivity. Parallel to that, you must, this is your obligation, is going parallel. You must put a lot of efforts and resources into cyber, anything of that. Even when you are saying, okay, I have telemedicine, remote kind of health, doing that in home care, again, cyber on that. And I see a lot of hospitals that the IT, the digital resources that they are putting is not in parallel. They are increasing, dozens of percents in the money that they are putting in digital transformation. However, not the same in cyber, and this creates another challenge and another vulnerability that we must understand that. So this is kind of a loophole. As I told you, medical devices, more connected, front stage, and this is why hospitals become more and more attractive. I won't go into that. I guess it's very obvious. Many passwords, people are doing with a lot of operating systems, some of the operating system for several technologies in your hospital. In any hospital, they will have a very old operating system, and the number of computers or the number of devices that are spread are thousands, or if not tens of thousands in a common hospital. So this is what we are facing, and we have to first to understand that. Of course, creating a strategy. The leader, the CEO of the hospital is on top. He cannot, switch it to the IT, and to be ahead and to lead the committee or to lead the strategy. And then there is a mission list for any hospital that want to be cyber secure, and the mission list after you creating your strategy is to go for any of the parts or any of the items and to manage them. And I will go very briefly on that. Of course, create a culture, create a strategy and a management kind of system. The next, manage with intelligence and do that daily. Defend any access point, of course, the mobile devices that physicians and any healthcare worker are using them more and more. Secure devices by design first and acknowledge that when you are creating. And I will go very briefly on that. And there's all these steps are, we can understand them, of course, using cloud and allowing ourselves to have all that. Security compliance with third parties, of course, that we are all the time dealing with third parties. Not all of them are keeping the security compliance. And of course, secure data and managing identity life cycles. So there are many phishing trials all day, and not all the emails or the transformation of activity within the healthcare organization are fully connected. And we know for sure in our hospital, in my hospital, that we are very aligned and we are putting a lot of resources. Still, phishing trials are succeeding here and there, and there is a clear and present danger, and I really don't have the time to go into that, but I would say that the take-home message is the first thing, it's the attractiveness of our hospital. Healthcare organization is growing, and we are more and more vulnerable. We are putting AI system. We want everything to be on data. We are collecting the data. The access point around the hospital are huge, and they are asking for more and more, the physicians and the scientists. Breaches and hacking are occurring daily. Of course, the issue is what I was saying before, to identify them as fast as possible, and to have, of course, a control system for that. Digital growing trends, cloud computing, AI, everything. You are taking your data and you want to do AI with many other third parties. This asks for more and more cybersecurity. Hospitals all around the world, healthcare organizations are in a lot of financial strains. Even though they are private, they can be public, never mind that. Still, money is not enough in place for cybersecurity, and the challenge is obvious. And for me, as a take-home message for any healthcare leader, cyber attacks are daily. They are within your system. You have to use the best, and you have to use the best technologies, and to invest and put resources parallel to the threats that we are, by growing and by being more and more data-oriented, digital transformed, and using more and more technologies and access point. We must parallel our investment on that. And this is really a take-home message for everyone. Thank you very much. I'm sorry to being very fast.